Hey, welcome back everybody, and we are jumping right here into the week 3 course overview where we're going to be talking a little bit about patient and caregiver interaction, oral communication, and your assignment this week, which is a YouTube motivational interviewing video. So let's jump right in. Okay, week 3. So we're going to be talking a little bit today in the text about how caregivers and patients interact with each other and how that's changed over the last several years. In today's environment in healthcare, we have a much more collaborative model where patients, their caregivers, their therapists, their nurses, practitioners, PAs, and physicians are more peers to each other than the structured hierarchy that we used to see in medical past. So please do consider that as you're working through this week's reading material. We're also going to be working on oral presentations. So we're going to be doing a motivational interview on smoking cessation, which you will be posting to YouTube and embedding into your assignment link submission this week. And then finally, we are going to finalize the topic after narrowing it down for your final semester project. So let's just jump right in. Here you can see our reading materials this week to pray, chapters 3, 4, and 5. But note that in 4 and 5, it's only certain sections of those chapters, not the full chapters. And then a handful of links here on motivational interviewing. Please make sure you look at these links so that you understand what a motivational interview is supposed to look like. Optionally then, a few other TED Talks and things like that that are just going to help inspire you on your motivational interviews. Our student learning outcome highlight of the week is student learning outcome number 2, which is oral communication in the profession. And we are going to be emphasizing that via the YouTube video. So that's where you're going to be applying the oral communication skills that we are talking about. Now remember, we're just introducing most of these student learning outcomes in this first course. However, you will be honing and improving these student learning outcomes as you progress through the Boise State curriculum in classes to come as you continue with us here at Boise State. Just to note, this last one here is just kind of a funny comic type of video. It's really not it's not meant to give you like really great ideas or how to do anything. So if you feel like skipping that one, that's perfectly all fine. But if you do kind of like, hey, let's see what this guy can do making fun of PowerPoint, jump in and waste about 10 minutes just taking a break. Reviewing our learning activities, we said we've got the motivational interview, discussion board, and quiz as normal, and then finally that narrowing your topic for your final project. So let's jump into the assignment. We've mentioned this already. You're going to be making a YouTube video, so very similar to what you did with your video introduction. You're going to be embedding it in your submission the same way as you did with your video introduction, so it's good that we've learned how to do that. But you're going to be using that information from our learning material on motivational interviewing to actually interview someone. Now, I've applied right down here an example of a previous student submission where they're doing a motivational interview on someone and they did a nice job on it, so I wanted to include that so you could kind of see what what it's going to look like. A coworker works really well and they usually have fun with it. A family member also works really well, spouses, things like that. I've even seen pets used before. Now they don't have much feedback to give very often, but it does make for an interesting video. So again here, the goal is not to see how great of a YouTube video creation expert or content delivery person you are. It's to express motivational interviewing, understanding, and to also work on the student learning outcome for oral communication. So that sums up the video assignment. Make sure you are clicking here to check out that example if you're not quite sure what that's supposed to look like. The week 3 discussion is going to be based off of that collaborative communication model with our patients on a daily interaction that we first talked about up in our reading section. Remember that that first post with 2 citations and 2 references are due on Sunday, and then you have to follow up to 2 of your classmates by the next Tuesday night, including at least 1 citation and reference with each of those responses. And if you decide you want to do more responses, the extra responses above 2 do not need citations or references. They can just be fun responses that are not as much academic. The week 3 quiz, again, you got a 10-question multiple choice quiz that's adaptive. You can take it multiple times. This is going to help you out with some of the information for this week as well. And then finally, narrowing your topic. So from this link right here is a Word form that you can download, and then you're going to fill it out. What it's going to allow you to do is to choose a little bit more specifics about your topic. And so it's going to show you, here's a little bit of information about the exercise itself. But when we look at the actual paper, we see that we have the main topic. So whatever you sent me last week, this is going to be your main topic. But then we're going to narrow it down. So for example, here's a bunch of different aspects of that topic that you could focus on. So maybe you picked on, you focused on vaping. Well, maybe you wanted to pick the political aspects of vaping. And then you want to combine that to down here. So it would be your political aspects of vaping. You'd be combining number 1 and 2. And then from there, you're going to narrow your viewpoint. So you would say in the last 10 years or the last 5 years, in the state of Washington or wherever you happen to live, or maybe in the United States. And then demographics of adolescents aged 13 to 18. And so then down here you would have the political aspects of vaping in the last 5 years in the United States for adolescents 13 to 18 years old. And so that really has narrowed down your topic. And here's kind of another example, treatment of women in the military, and you can kind of see how that goes on to fulfill what it is that you're going to be talking about. Okay, let's close this out and back into the week 3 module. So that is going to be a very quick, easy way for you to focus your subject of your main topic so it doesn't become so broad that you really don't even know where to start. This is a really excellent tool, so I highly recommend you use that. Of course, I'm requiring it here. I'm giving you points for doing it, so please fill that out and turn it in. As always, if you have any questions, please do hit up the discussion board and the study hall. Subscribe to that if you haven't yet, so that you can see what other students' questions are as well as my responses. And remember, you can respond to students' questions as well if you have that answer. And of course, the APA help folder and the YouTube and Google Doc folder are all listed here as well. Okay, class, you're doing great work so far. I'm excited to see these videos this upcoming week. Remember as well, now that we've done our abstracts and our APA citation and references, we don't have an essay this week. Don't forget about the feedback from those items, because you're going to need to apply that feedback later in this course in future weeks. So make sure you're looking at the feedback I gave you regarding that APA format. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week, and I will see you at week 4.